Hello. Welcome to the New Ulm Public Library Board meeting, Thursday, October 10th. It's 4 o'clock, so we are ready to begin. Hopefully you've had a chance to take a look at our agenda for today. Let's see, anything to add?
Nope.
Change? Okay, then I'd like to make a motion that we approve our agenda for today. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I'll approving that the agenda is accepted. Say aye.
Aye.
In the negative? Good, then we're going on. All right, and the minutes from our September 12th meeting, hopefully you've had a chance to look at them as well. And I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the minutes from last month's meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any changes, anything like that? All in favor of approving the minutes from last month's meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then we shall move on to the financial report. And Paulina?
Okay, we are 74.79% through 2019, and our budget is approximately 65.22% expended. Some contractual maintenance building bills in September, including remittances to Clausen Mechanical to repair one of the commodes in the men's room downstairs, and Riverview Sanitation for trash service. We also received the reimbursement for the Minnesota Museum Hall of Fame for the emergency lighting that we replaced, and that was applied last month as well. Computer supplies and equipment included remittances to She International for replacement of the assistant library director's computer, which was slated for this year. And that's about it. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. Our computer supplies and equipment and maintenance of building line items are a little bit over 100 for the most part, but everything else looks good.
Okay, thank you. And the budget report and balance sheet, or do you?
I just put them separately, and this time usually I include them all together.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, moving on to the librarian's report, the library department activities and statistics.
Okay. This month, the youth services librarian, reference librarian, and assistant library director attended Sierra Reports training on September 17th at the library. Seth Erickson, the TDS automation librarian, taught the group how to run a variety of reports from Sierra, the integrated library system that we use to manage our catalog and circulation. These reports will be helpful in a variety of ways, from gathering statistics to weeding and managing patron records. There were also other librarians from the Traverse des Sioux area who attended that training. The assistant library director attended Minnesota Library Association pre-conference at the Prior Lake Library on September 18th. I contributed to one of the conference sessions, interstate collaboration, how learning about our neighbors can help us do better. I was not able to present, though, with the director of the Blue Earth County and the director of the Northwest Regional Library in River Falls. We held a Friends of the Library meeting on September 23rd. The Friends discussed the upcoming book sale and the fall publication of The Bookworm, which we anticipate, I think, going out later this week. Next Wednesday. And we held a staff meeting on September 27th at Fire Hall, which focused on emergency operations phone center training. The city emergency management team trained and refreshed the staff on emergency phone center procedures. And a little about what happened in the children's department this past month. The youth services librarian and youth services aide hosted a drive-in movie for preschool age children. So they built little cars and watched a movie. It was super, super cute. I heard them when I walked in. I heard them making their little cars, and then I saw them in their little parking spots. It was super adorable. I think April posted some items on social media for us. And we also, TDS just recently moved offices next door in Mankato. So we nabbed We package from them. They were getting rid of some stuff. So our Youth Services librarian is considering possibilities of using it for like family game night or something like that. Otherwise, nothing major in statistics, but if anyone has any questions, let me know.
Paulina, I was
Yes.
question, and maybe it's not necessarily statistics, but it goes back to the budget. You'd said that we're, through the year thus far, we're 74.9% into the budget year, and we've expended just a hair over 65% of the budget. Do you anticipate that 10% variance to follow through to the end of the year, or is there some major expense coming up that will?
We have a couple of things slated to purchase as we end the year, so I think we'll kind of close that gap that we have. We have quite a bit left over in, I believe, general supplies, but we have some chairs we'll be purchasing and book trucks. And our AV is a little bit under than normal at this time of the year, so we'll probably be purchasing a bit more AV coming up.
Anything else on that subject? All right, we have word on programming from April.
On Thursday, October 17th at 3 p.m., Magic Bob and Beautiful Lynn Marie will be presenting an awesome magic Halloween show, and that's open to families and kids of all ages. The library will be holding its annual Pumpkin Bling program on Saturday, October 19th at 2 p.m. We'll be providing pumpkins and decorations. This year we are limiting it to 1 pumpkin per family so that more families can participate. And those pumpkins were donated to us by Hy-Vee, so we thank them for their donation. Our Learn to Knit classes will begin meeting at 3 and 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, October 22nd and 29th, and also Tuesday, November 5th. Both the 3 and 6 p.m. sessions are currently full, but we are taking reservations on a waiting list if anyone is interested, just in case we have cancellations. Family History Month classes will conclude on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Molly Schweinfurter of Mojo Genealogy will discuss personal digital archiving and writing your family history. We do ask that patrons register to attend that workshop, which is being funded through an Arts and Cultural Heritage subgrant from TDS. On Monday, November 4th at 6:30 p.m., we are having an author panel. This is through the Moving Words Writers Across Minnesota program, which is organized by the Friends of the St. Paul Public Library. Authors Jeff Herbach, Wendy Webb, Gwen Westerman, and Carrie Griffiths will participate in the author panel. It is being funded by BNSF Railway Foundation, as well as through an Arts and Cultural Heritage grant from the state of Minnesota. This is a great opportunity for our patrons to come out and meet some of the authors that they have been reading, and our adult book club will be reading a Wendy Webb book, The Tale of Halcyon Crane, for because that's their normal meeting night. So instead of their meeting, they will be attending the author panel. Again, that is Monday, November 4th at 6:30 p.m. And then Little Golden Book collector and enthusiast Ellen Radel will present the history of Little Golden Books at the library on Thursday, November 7th at 6:30 p.m. She'll talk about the first 12 Little Golden Books that were published in 1942 and discuss the continued importance of reading with children. She will also bring a large selection from her personal collection that attendees may browse at the program. Are there any questions I can answer about programming?
The notes say that the Moving Words Writers panel starts at 7. Is it 6:30?
It's 6:30.
Okay. Any other questions from anybody else for April? Okay, then we can look forward to a roof update from Paulina.
So the roof is completed. A final check was done about a week or so ago. Everything looks good. There were no issues. And we haven't had any issues with the roof replacement with the recent rains that we've had. Also, Jay, the maintenance technician, found where the leak we had in the children's doorway was coming from. So far, we've been good. So we've caulked that area, and we haven't had any issues yet. So we're good. Yeah, very exciting.
All right, thanks. And anything to report on the Children's Room Committee?
Yes. So the Children's Room Committee met on October 26th. The next meeting will take place on November 7th at 4 p.m. The committee discussed various options to pursue in the children's area, and hope to see some examples and templates of what both they and Catherine would like to see in the area. They kind of listed priorities of what to work on. So we'll look forward to seeing what she comes up with.
Any questions for Paulina on that?
Okay.
All right, then we have a library job posting.
Yes. So Betty Roger's position was library assistant 1 with supervisory duties and responsibilities on the par of the youth services librarian and reference librarian, but it was at a different pay grade. And HR today looked at a proposal from us to redo that position a little bit. So we would replace the librarian assistant 1 position with a programming and technology services librarian at the same level as the youth services and reference librarian. And then the assistant library director position would also be amended, and that would encompass acquisitions for us, all of our book, our fiction and book purchasing. And the HR director and city manager approved that today. So we would hope to possibly do the posting within the next week or two to start the posting.
Paulina,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, in my experience and memory of that
Mhm.
position that Betty has left, that position did not require a undergraduate degree. Is this new position going to require an undergraduate degree?
Yes,
or
it will. Mhm.
master's?
Yes, bachelor's and I believe 1 to 3 years of library experience.
Any other questions or comments on that issue for Paulina? All right, then we'll move up to the follow-up on the electronic
Yes.
recycling.
So last month there was a question about electronic recycling, and I contacted the city IT director, and we do not, with the vendor we use, we do not pay for any of the recycling that we do in terms of electronics. It's all free. So
Nice.
that's a score for us. Yeah.
Okay, and a follow-up on the impact of fine-free on circulation at Traverse de Sioux libraries.
Yes, so I reached out to 4 Traverse de Sioux libraries that have gone fine-free. 3 responded to me. I think St. Peter is the one who has had it the longest. I think they've been fine-free for at least 4 or 5 years. And they've definitely seen a circulation boost. Doug Wolf told me, but it's been more of a PR booster, he said. They also forgave all existing fines to wipe everyone's slate free and clear. The Muir Library also, they brought in about $1,500 in overdue fines each year, so it wasn't a big financial impact on them. But they've had a lot of positive interactions simply because they thank people for bringing their items back, encourage them to check out more, and they haven't kept track. But it seems like people, especially adults who walk in expectant to pay a fine, end up donating to the library instead, just because when they find out they don't have a fine to pay, Heidi Sushut mentioned that as a staff person, it's more exciting to accept a donation than a fine. So, and Martin County, Jenny Trushensky mentioned that their circulation has gone up, and since they dropped their overdue fines, I'm not exactly sure when they drop them. And all Traverse City 2 libraries also do automatic renewals right now, but they have seen from 2017, 2018, about a 30,000 increase in their circulation. So she says they're about 10,000 circs higher than they were in 2018 at the same point in the year. So she thinks the trend will continue, but that only includes physical items. It doesn't include their electronic. They do both Overdrive and Hoopla e-services. And I also asked what they did with old fines, and she said that they waived any and all overdue fines for billed, lost, or damaged material stayed put, and they do still charge for those things going on. So that's what some of those libraries are doing.
Sounds pretty positive.
Yeah, all of them said that it's been a definite PR boost, and circulation has definitely gone up. And I think it's both a combination of fine-free and the automatic renewals have only been going on, I think, since last fall. But yeah, she gave me her numbers, and they were pretty impressive.
Pauline, do you have any ideas about rolling this out come the first of the year when this all takes effect, and letting the public know through social media or newspaper articles or something?
Yes, more than likely both. Yeah, we would do that. And yeah, both social media and library articles, I think, would be the way to go. We can also post signs on the doors as well.
Are you going to wait till the first of the year?
No,
Well,
I don't think. I
because
probably sometime into maybe Thanksgiving, December,
at some point you
sometime
have
in
to,
that.
you know, if you're going to forgive fines,
Right.
you want to, I would think you may want to wait till you get closer to that first, because people right now, if they
Right, that's true too. Yeah.
hold off now and paying
Right.
if they know it's going to be
We figure
forgiven.
sometime in December. I was
Wouldn't
thinking
wanna
of doing a
discourage
bigger
them from
push. Yeah.
Paying.
No, indeed.
Now we know how your little mind works.
Ah,
And speaking of fines,
Mhm.
we could probably move on if there's
Sure.
nothing else to the resolution that approves the 2020 library fees and fines schedule. Now, the actual listing of library fees for 2020, that is on the website, the City of New Ulm Civic website. Anybody can look that
Yes.
up, so that kind of
Mhm.
spoils the surprise.
Right, that's true. If anyone looks it up, yeah.
Don't advertise.
don't talk about it.
Carolyn.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's take a look at the resolution. This is resolution number 2019-26, the second reading and adoption, approving the 2020 library fees and fines schedule. The City of New Ulm annually revises its schedule of fees. As a part of this, the library is required to update its fees and fines schedule. The library director proposes the attached schedule for 2020 fees and fines. At the 2019 ALA midwinter meeting, the enclosed resolution on monetary library fines as a form of social inequity was presented. The library director recommends New Ulm Public Library go fine-free on books, magazines, newspapers, audiobooks, and DVDs. Patrons will still be billed for damaged and lost items. Items will be considered lost if they are not returned 30 days after their last due date. Eliminating fines can reopen doors to people who have their library cards frozen by unpaid fines. She recommends that all other fines and fees remain at the 2019 rates. That is a change that you can note on your screen. Changes proposed by the library board members will be incorporated, and a second reading and adoption of the library fees and fine schedule will occur at the October 10 meeting. The schedule will then be submitted to the Finance Department for final approval by the City Council. So, I would entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
So move.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion on this? Okay, then all in favor of approving Resolution 2019-26 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. And we will move on to our next resolution, which is Resolution 2019-28, first reading and adoption, accepting the June 8th, 2019 through October 6th, 2019 donations and memorials. Again, you can see the attached list of those donations on the website if you so desire. The attached lists describe donations received by the library from June 8th through October 6th, 2019. This includes general donations. Library Board of the New Ulm Public Library accepts these donations with gratitude to the donors. So I will entertain a motion to accept this resolution.
I so move.
And a second? Thank you. All in favor, please signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we pass that one. And moving on to the resolution awarding the bid for carpet replacement. Before we move on to this, I just have a question. Do you, as a group, feel you want to move on this, or do you want to wait until Vince is here? Anybody have any strong feelings one way or another? Because we can table it, or we can go ahead and go through it.
I think we can move on.
Okay,
Anyone else?
I agree.
all right. Do we need a resolution? Does that need to be a resolution that we vote on? Well, since I'm running the meeting, I say no. We're just okay. So we have a resolution 2019-29, first reading and adoption, awarding bid for carpet replacement. The library sent requests for bids pertaining to replacing carpet on the first floor of the main building. Bids were sent to 3 vendors, and 3 vendors submitted quotes. The quotation requested information about furniture moving as well. The bid request and quotes are attached. The request for bids did not specify a particular warranty. The manufacturer's websites indicate the commercial warranties are as follows. Hillier Commercial Floors, 10 years for carpet. New Ulm Furniture, 10 years for carpet. Pullman Lumber, 7 years for carpet. The library board requested to know how long the quotes would be effective for if the library decides to push the replacement to the spring to see if the snow impacts the recent roof replacement. Quotes are effective as follows. Hillier Commercial Floors, did you have any extra information on that?
Yeah,
Paulina?
just verbal. So Hillier Commercial Floors, I said available at board meeting. They said the quote would be fine if we pushed it towards the spring. New Ulm Furniture, according to the quote, said it was effective through November 5th, 2019. And Pullman Lumber said they usually get their new pricing in the new year, so he would have to provide us with a revised quote if we decided to push it back.
Okay. The request for bids indicated quotes for rolled carpet and not carpet squares. The library director recommends the replacement to be for rolled carpet. Hillier Commercial Floors did indicate cost of carpet squares in their bid as an alternative. The bid totals came in as follows. Pullman Lumber, $15,008.06. New Ulm Furniture, $16,616. Hillier Commercial Floors, $19,430 for rolled carpet, $26,190 for carpet tiles. Was there any change in that?
Yeah, Pullman Lumber and New Ulm Furniture did not include cost of moving furniture, which was requested in the quote. Hillier's quote, the $19,430, includes that furniture moving. So without moving furniture, the cost for Hillier carpet is $16,131, and for the carpet tiles, it's $21,882. So it's the middle bid. Pullman is the cheapest at $15,000, and Hillier is the next one at $16,131, and New Ulm Furniture is the third at $16,616.
I think it would be important to note, as you look at those prices, that Hiller's price is good till spring, apparently,
Yes, yeah.
as opposed to the other two. And Hiller's has a 10-year warranty, whereas Pullman's doesn't. And I think, you're getting 3 years more with Hiller's on your carpeting warranty than you would be at Pullman. So I think that is a consideration that I would weigh as well.
Do we need to include moving of furniture?
We don't. I asked him for that, but we do have, we could look elsewhere to find people to move. We were looking at all the computer stations, the big display, some of the tables, the magazine rack, as well as the staff workstations, because we also included the staff area as well in that. But they will not move the cubbies, so we would have to find a way to do that ourselves. But it's, yeah, obviously the service desk would not be movable.
So the only one that really complied with the request for was Hiller's.
And
How long
moving
is-
all that furniture is a big deal.
Yes.
It's not like
It-
we can
it's-
just go out to another department and borrow their staff for
Right.
Yeah.
2
Yes.
hours. It's not
Yeah.
gonna do it, so.
And the bookshelf as well, the new and our DVDs, they would
Yeah.
move that as well.
Big jump.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And I did suggest, I recommend rolled carpet. I've had experience working with carpet tiles in a library. And it's not the most fun. We kind of ran into issues when they get older. Some of the seams kind of start breaking up. We had a water issue at one point where they were kind of coming up when we did carpet cleaning. And it just, whenever you replace one, it never really looks the same. So that's why I suggested the rolled carpet in that.
Paulina and I did talk about the fact that this replacement will probably mean a closure of the library while it's being replaced at some point. during the
Potentially, yeah.
process.
But Hillier is also very amendable to working when we're not open as well, and weekends. So that would also, but we haven't really estimated on how long it would take them to do it. But definitely we would maybe need a day or, depending on when we schedule to.
A further description of the resolution indicates that as part of the 2019 budget, the library board approved the use of $15,000 from fund balance for this project.
And we were
Hiller's-
including that furniture moving in that, because the year before, I think only 10,000 was allocated. Yeah.
Okay, so is that a significant difference to be concerned about if we were to go with, say, Hillier, and it's, what, $4,000 more than that? Is that a concern?
Well, I don't think it's a concern insofar as the cost, given the fact that there wasn't a bid that met the 15,000. They were all over. In addition, the two of them didn't include the cost of moving the furniture. So my guess is 15 was a little short of what the actual costs really might have been, and I don't know where the 15,000, how that number was arrived at, but I don't, to me, that the $4,000 and you're gonna get everything moved and 10 years warranty seems attractive enough.
It does say on their estimate here, their proposal, that the bookcases must be emptied
The bookshelf, yeah.
for the
Mhm.
book,
Mhm.
and then the workstations will need to be broken down and moved for the rolled carpet. So are they gonna be doing that, or is that part of
They will
the
not,
prep work?
that's
you
some of the
have-
prep work we
Okay.
have to do, yes.
And this is just for that main floor when you
Yes, that's
walk
just
in,
the main
not
floor.
for going down.
No, so we'll have to rethink of when we start thinking about moving towards the other floors, how we'll handle doing those bookshelves, yeah.
How long would you expect the library to be closed?
For the, to be honest, I'm not sure, maybe a day or two, especially if we kind of hook it up to a weekend. I was thinking it might not be as bad. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've done a replacement of just like fiction and nonfiction shelving, and in the past, and we were just moving books, but it was all staff initiated, and that took us a week to do. But this isn't that kind of degree of moving, so I don't foresee it. And I think they've done this so many times that they'll be more than likely, they know what they're doing, I think. So do you have an idea, April, of how long it could take? Yeah, we're not actually sure.
It took a few days when they did the different areas of the library
The
in
stairways.
2017, I think it was, early 2018. But that was a little bit easier to do because there was less furniture moving
Mhm.
and it was 3 sections, so they were able to break it up.
Well, if we were to, say, approve the New Ulm furniture bid because it's lower,
Mhm.
but it doesn't include any of the moving, what are you gonna do to get it moved? And is that gonna cost money? You have to take that into
Right.
effect,
I
too.
would have to reach out to a couple probably local movers. I know there's a mover, someone suggested, I don't recall their name now,
Mankato movers.
Mankato or something Pickers, maybe?
Picker-uppers doesn't do that anymore.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay, someone suggested
That's
them
what
to
someone
me.
told me anyways. They no
Okay.
longer move people.
Oh, okay.
It got to
So,
be too
I would have to reach out to some local people and get pricing for that.
And I guess in that sense, to me, the Hillier bid is attractive simply because it would cut out that step that we don't know how much it would cost. Here we have a bid that hopefully the rest of the moving that's involved, our own library staff could help with. So.
One concern I have is that the last company we went with, they're out of business now, so that we couldn't get the same carpeting, correct?
Yes, but they, I mentioned that to all three, that, I wanted to match up as
Right.
close as we could to the stairways, so, which is a nice kind of pattern. And they said that would be possible. There's some similar, carpet vendors, businesses, that I think we could match that up. And we haven't really taken a look at that yet.
So that would be a question as we move forward, though, too, because if we're going to, in the next 5 years, replace
The
other
nonfiction
floors, I
and
don't
fiction.
know what our plans are for what the hearing is. We may want to keep that into consideration
Right,
as general neutral as possible. So
right,
it's
right.
gonna be a few
Or
flavors.
something as close, yeah,
Right.
together,
What?
yeah.
Who did the city use for like replacing this carpet? Do we know?
I don't know, I can see,
Just
yeah,
it's curious.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if it matters or
I
not.
can check it into that.
So when is a decision going to be made as to whether or not push the replacement to spring? I mean, wouldn't it be kind of silly to approve this now if you're not going to do it right away?
I know that was brought up last month, whether or not we should wait, but I had already reached out to, for bidding, so I don't know if you wanted to decide that, or if you'd like us to proceed with it.
Why would we wait?
It's over budget.
Or and see what happens with the roof.
With the snow.
Yeah.
Caution. See if it's done leaking.
The two of the three bids, prices aren't going to be any good after
Right after the new
November
year.
5th for one and the first of the year with the other one, whereas the one bid is good till spring. So if you're going to, try to capture the current price rather than wait till their prices all go up in spring, that might be a consideration as well. Because they're certainly not going to go down.
So we'd be in effect locking in these prices now, even though they wouldn't do the replacement until spring, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Hillers, for
The
sure.
pillars, yes, not the other two.
Okay. Are we leaning towards a motion of some kind?
Well, to move the question, I'll make a motion that we accept Hiller's bid for the price submitted for rolled carpeting and the moving of furniture and shelving in order to complete the project.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the Hillier Commercial Floors bid. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Any discussion on this issue further?
And how do we feel about waiting? When would be a good time?
For the actual
Pursue.
installation?
When do you think?
It might be
You guys might know Minnesota winters better than me.
All depends on the day.
Yeah, right.
that might be a
I know.
subsequent decision.
Right.
Maybe if we have wait till we have a full board to decide
Okay.
whether we want to wait, and we could make that decision in November.
Okay, sounds good. I know, I think last year's, but it was the stairways. I think that happened in, I want to say March or April. I don't know if something like that, but I know it was still snowing in late April, so. Or the year before, not this past year. Yeah. So that was 2017. Okay.
All right. Perhaps this upcoming snow will be a test.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, we have a motion and a second. Let's go ahead and, all in favor of accepting the Hillier Commercial Floors bid for this resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. We will award the bid to Hillier Commercial Floors and talk more next month about when that will take place. All right.
Sounds good.
Is there any other business at this time?
I did forget to mention the Brown County Library Board will be meeting on November 11th at 7 p.m. in Comfrey. They usually meet twice a year, so that's our next meeting.
In Comfrey?
I believe in Comfrey, yes.
All right.
I would like to
Anything
thank Betty for her years of service with the New Ulm Public Library. Her work has been fabulous, and she knows so much about the library, so she certainly will be missed. And I wanted to especially thank her for her humorous notes
Oh,
each
I know.
month. It was just laugh out loud kind of notes, and I will miss that too.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
mentioning that,
Mhm.
Sue. Yeah, it's wonderful. Anything else? Okay, then we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.